let me see if I can find his post. How can I find it? Is it maybe sort by controversial? Let me see if I can find it. Best, controversial maybe? Okay. Okay, please, 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 classic, come out. Okay. Alright, here we go. This is the post that he made. I honestly believe Asmongold should unsub. It just kind of feels like everyone hides behind I'm passionate about WoW and this is why I stay subbed in hopes of change security blanket. Let's be real, most people aren't unsubbing, and even if they were, what can Blizzard do now? Just scrap and replace systems in the snap of a finger. And WoD, people actually unsubbed and changed happened. I love these content creators, some of my friends, some I just watch. But you want to cause some shit, then unsub. Don't tell everyone you hate the RNG systems and not being able to work for loot, but your stream title is Sup Y'all, Time to Get Fat Loots. I should change it to that. Don't tell me how rating is down, you hate the rewards, and say, okay, viewer raids, time to get some loot and kill bosses. So...
Now be careful because he is a partnered streamer, and look, so is Jesse Cox.
Towelliee and I are friends. It's not a big deal. Like, no. I'm disagreeing with his post, and I'm explaining the difference between the two things. I'm not saying Towellee's bad or anything like that. So here's the difference. The day that the forced personal loot for pugs came out, I was unhappy. I did not like it. Just because I use a system to my advantage does not necessarily mean that I think that system is good. Just because I'm able to do something doesn't mean that I am promoting that thing and I think that thing is good. I mean, just because, like, let me think of an example. I think that, like, doing the Tusk Mannoroth runs, right? Bringing in, like, 30 plate wearers and going for 30 chances at Tusk Mannoroth is not something that Blizzard should let you do, but it's a reality of the system. And at the end of the day, just because I participate in something doesn't necessarily mean that I approve of it. I mean, does that make sense, guys? Divers. Yeah. Okay. Kind of, yes. Makes you a hypocrite? No, it doesn't. Because a hypocrite is based off of, like, an ideological perspective that's contradictory. So, my ideological perspective is I'm going to do whatever I can to advance myself while at the same time disagreeing with some of the ways that I do that. It does not necessarily mean that I agree with every single way that I do it, and I think those ways are good for the game. It just means that I feel like those ways are things that will help me, even though I don't necessarily agree with their existence in the beginning. You see what I'm saying?
And now, I will say what I want to say about this. Let's be real. He streams, you stream. Who's it beneficial for if you unsub? What are you going to do? I think it's very clear what the motives are here.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. But I think there's a lot more to it, right? Like, Towelliee and I, the fact is, like, I played with Towelliee, like, back in 2011. I played with Towelliee for a long time. And, not all the time, but I've played with them multiple times before in the past. I do like the game. Like, it's very clear that I like the game. Like, I'll show you how much I like the game. The fuck? I have 987 days slash played on my character. Like, I don't know how much he has. That's only one character. I have, like, 10 other characters that I have. Let me see. Does it tell me? Yeah, my total slash played nowadays is... Let me go ahead and close this real quick. 1,319 days slash played. So the idea that, like, I don't care or anything like that is just... I mean, there it is. I mean, I've played this game forever, man. Like, I don't want to just quit the game. That's it.
Well, I think he has other comments, by the way.
Okay. Well, I can read those too. Jesse Cox responded on Twitter. What do you say? Let's see if I can find him. Jesse Cox.
I might have to recuse myself right now.
Let's see. Okay, let me read this here. I will read what he says on his posts. Okay. Okay. Let me go all the way to the top. Let's see. Just my take on the recent videos in WoW. I honestly and truly... Oh, this is the post that he made. Okay. You're a good man, my dude, but we both know ain't no one unsubbing whenever their money is dependent on fan outrage. Why would it... Wouldn't it be better for me if people like the game?
Are you gonna take that?
Well, the thing is, like, so the line of logic there is broken, and I'm gonna say why. Here's why it's broken. Is because if I focus on making, you know, like negative videos and negative content, people will indirectly stop playing the game, right? Because like if I'm making the game worse, right, and I'm saying negative things about it, people are more likely to unsub from the game if they're hearing things that are negative versus hearing things that are positive. If people unsub from the game, then they're less likely to consume content about the game. If they're less likely to consume content about the game, then they're less likely to watch my content, which is going to hurt me. So the idea that me relying on bad things, it's completely counterproductive. Not really. Yeah, I'm...
Yeah, Jesse.
Well, you can see like how it's creating a feedback loop of me being hurt by this. You can watch football without playing it. Yeah, except for football's more interesting to watch than BFA. That's the difference. So let me read the other ones. You're creating a circle jerk based on bad decisions. I don't think that's true at all. The fact is, I've been saying this stuff in the game for years now. Like, of course I'm going to talk. Of course I'm going to speak out about it. Like, what do you expect me to do? Like, just, like, say... read the rest. Okay, I'll read the rest. I get you for sure, being a veteran of the game and the business. I just think players should take these statements seriously if the creator also took action. I mean, like... What is it? I mean, does he want me to quit the game because I don't like the way that BFA is? Maybe I can just be like everybody else, like Soda Pop, and quit the game. Like, there's a bunch of other streamers that quit the game. Shroud quit the game.
We could
Lyric
play Jackbox Party Pack.
Ooh, what is that?
We can play that right now, dude. Let's play Jackbox, dude.
Well, you see what I'm saying, right? I mean, this is completely ridiculous. I mean, like, all of these other people have quit the game, and it's been bad for WoW. Like, the idea that you should just quit the game, that's worse for WoW than me trying to help it get better. Like, these people just want me to, like, not talk and not give any sort of feedback.
You know...
Do what?
What's interesting is that a lot of people in WoD said the same thing, like, yo, if you hate the game, just quit, dude, just quit.
Yep.
And then everybody quit in WoD, and they were like, oh my god, the sub numbers, dude, what's going on? People are freaking out. Well, guess what, dude? When you tell, you know, hundreds of thousands of people to unsub, I mean, what are you surprised at, idiot? Are you stupid?
Yeah, I don't want people to unsub from the game. Like, as I said, I just think that there's a middle ground where we can talk about the game and we can say, hey, I don't like this. Hey, this isn't good. I don't like the way this is going. While at the same time, not quitting the game. I think that's really what it is. People get paid by Blizzard to get free stuff. I don't know about that. Let me read the rest of this. Agreed. I get salty as hell whenever Blizzard does stuff I don't like, but I'll always admit whenever they fix it or do something amazing. You can love something and still be disappointed in it. I just think people realize you can monetize anger easier than joy. So here's my take on that. Is I think that you're partially right, but it's a short-term strategy. The idea of kind of being completely negative all the time, it wears on people. And it's like you have to have, it's like the, what's it called? The yin and the yang, where in order to have darkness, you have to have light. In order to have light, you have to have darkness. And I think that presenting things in a completely negative or a completely positive way is both bad. right? So what I'm saying is that people are literally already upset. Well, yeah, I know that. But what I'm saying is that if all I do is say bad stuff about the game, people will get tired of that. And I do say a lot of positive things about BFA. There's a lot of positive things. I mean, I've been very positive about a number of things in BFA. That doesn't mean that there aren't negatives too. I feel like these people, that they'll look and they'll be like, well, I'm saying bad things about the game now, but I've said a million positive things too, right? Here's some examples. I think the way that you craft mythic raid gear in BFA is good. I like that. The way, I mean, the random stats are kind of bad, but it also gives people a sense of progression in a way. I don't think it's terrible. I think that the raid in general is okay. I don't necessarily hate the raid. It's fine. The aesthetics are great. The aesthetics of the whole game is great. Let's see, Arena.
Music.
Go ahead.
The music.
Yeah, the music is good. Arena is great. I think Arena's in a very good spot. Let's see, what are the other things? I mean, those are like the big things. I mean, there's like little stuff too. Like I like some of the mounts that they put into the game. The long boy is awesome, etc. Let's see. Island expeditions, I think, are actually really good content. I think they're the best PvP content. Well, I do. I really think that they're good. I think they have the potential to be good. And Blizzard probably, they're underutilizing them. I know that you guys might disagree with me on that, but those are just a handful of things that I think are very good for the game and very good. So the idea that I'm just monetizing negativity is untrue. And I've talked about a lot of positive things about BFA, and I've made a lot of videos about it too in the past. That doesn't necessarily mean that everything about BFA is good. And if I talk about negatives, you have to agree that I've said a lot of positive things too. I meant, as I don't see your point, content creators voice their opinion, whether it's positive or negative. People are upset with all the bugs in class design. War mode? Well, yeah, I liked war mode a lot too. I thought war mode was great. I don't like the fact that there's a faction imbalance, but the idea of war mode is an amazing idea, and Blizzard's done a great job doing it, and I think that they're underutilizing it. So if I'm saying that they're underutilizing something, I wouldn't say that if the core was not a great idea. Like, Blizzard's had a number of great ideas that have gone into BFA, and just because I talk about some of the bad ideas doesn't mean that I don't acknowledge that there are good ideas too. Let me read the rest of this. A couple more posts. I don't think Asmongold is a bad dude. I barely know him. But I definitely think whenever you see higher view counts, more people agreeing with you as you post more videos. You start perpetuating a cycle of negativity. Well, that would only really make sense if the cycle of negativity was started being negative. Which, like, for the most part, like, whenever my stream started doing well, I wasn't really doing a whole lot of, like, negative videos, right? I wasn't really doing any videos at all. Shroud didn't quit the game, he just doesn't have time to play it. Yeah, I mean, like, sure, but it's the same general idea, right? People would make time if they enjoyed the game more. I think that I think there's a lot of times people just, like, they get to a point in the game and they stop playing. Why do they stop playing? A lot of reasons for that has to do with the game. Okay. His mentality of don't talk, just quit. Well, yeah, that's basically, it's a way to kind of not get you to talk about things. And that's what I think the problem is that it's almost like I'm not supposed to talk about negative things about the game. And I don't know, like, what?
I mean, look at what happens when you only talk about the positive aspects of the game. I mean, look, if somebody wants to be a shill, then they can be a shill. But I don't think that's being honest. Okay? I think it's more important to be honest than it is to be a shill. That's all I gotta say. If I say any more, I'm gonna get in trouble.
I think being genuine is really important, and I think that in order to do that, you have to accept positives and negatives. Nothing is always good, nothing is always bad. There's a number of good things about BFA. I just mentioned a lot of them. That doesn't necessarily mean that all of the things about BFA are bad, but it doesn't mean all of them are good. Yeah. WoW is always perfect. That's apparently what it is, man. I'm gonna read the rest of these. Bonswambi is the best character they added in a long time. I like Bonswambi, yeah. That's another good example. Okay, there it is. As a fan, you should try to play devil's advocate on the other side of the argument. Some of this shit being said makes sense. Don't write it off. I know you, Zach, are absorbing it, but everyone here is just hearing Asmongold be right. Well, some of it making sense isn't really an argument, right? Like, I'm responding to what they're saying, and, like, that's my argument. I mean, you have to, like, like, what about this makes sense based off of the context of what I've said? Like, I feel like I've pretty much refuted it.
Okay, I can do that. Okay, so in your video, you talked about how they took away master loot, and you're talking about the looting system.
Yes.
And you were like, well, I like it when you said this. You were like, I like when people have control or whatever. But here's the problem: is whenever Blizzard gives players control, people like you go and mess it up. You start ninja looting. You start making groups to try to scam people. You do disgusting things that I don't think Blizzard wants to allow. So they have to control the population.
Well, yeah, and that's basically the issue, right? Is if you give people more freedom, there are going to be negative consequences from that. But the real argument is that, are those negative consequences a reason to remove everybody's freedom? I would say no. How many groups?
I would say yes.
Oh, I don't think so at all. That's the difference to me, is that I think that there's a lot of big differences between, like, freedom and also, like, it's a video game, right? So it's not really a big deal. And it's like everybody that went into a Master Looter run, they went into that knowing that it could be a Ninja Loot run. And they did all of that on their own free volition, right?
So you think it's good that people have to be scared of other players? Like, oh man, I want to play, I want to go to this group, but this guy could scam me. You think that's good for the player base?
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do, because it creates a sense of actual legitimate, real social interaction, rather than just something that's been completely neutered down to some sort of an experience where you don't even communicate with the other person. I think that being able to have a little bit of risk and an added reward of having a positive social experience is better than them removing all the tools to even have it in the first place. Yes.
Well, Blizzard disagrees, and that's why they're right.
Why are they right?
Because they made the game.
Well,
boom. Boom.
Okay. Let me read the rest of these. I've watched your content since Miss when I started playing daily at BFA. College student working. Yeah, I feel like find time to raid every day. Regardless of lockouts, 355. I love raiding, but I dislike RNG bullshit. Give the good work, bro. Yeah, I agree. To McConnell's point, my dog, I think a tribunal or DKP something in retail would help. Just CRZ all the cancer together. Yeah, I mean, people can use DKP, and they can decide who deserves to get gear and who doesn't. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? Am I wrong here? Like, come on.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the guy's resub. He says, this admired guy, he says, it's good to talk about negative aspects, but you should offer solutions too.
Now, I have.
Not really. Not. I mean, you didn't put any in your video. You just complained the whole 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, because it would be like a 10-hour video if I went through that. I'm going to make another video talking about the way that I want to solve the problems. I am. I mean,
there you go.
Yeah. This video went really well, but I've done this thing. I've done that before.
That'll be out next year.
Okay. Okay. All right, let me read the rest of these comments. Yeah, I feel like the idea that, like, just because I'm like pandering to an audience of negativity, I don't really think that's true. I think that's obviously an assumption, and a lot of my content doesn't really have anything to do with the negativity. Just because I'm unhappy with the current state of the game doesn't necessarily mean that I'm talking about it in that way in order to get viewers. I think that if I was more positive towards the game, people would enjoy that too. I don't think that me being negative or positive is an influence on the amount of people that are watching my content. Positive content has gotten a lot of views. Different types of content have gotten a lot of views for me in the past. It has nothing really to do with negativity or positivity. It has to do with the content quality and if that's good or not. So that's basically the way that I feel. Watch your view. I don't think you're pandering, but your community is overwhelmingly negative. Well, that's because people... I think that, like... The word that you're using, negative, I feel like the better word is critical. Like, people are very critical of the game, and I think that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I meant? Whenever you're wrong, right? I've admitted that I was wrong a number of times. Don't worry. Let me see here. Let me read the rest of these posts. I don't think that he made any more posts about it, did he? It's just those two. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, this is about, like, sports. I have no idea. Okay, let me just go back to this. There's a post on Asmongold that's pretty funny called the Big Dick Challenge. I don't know if I want to read that, man. Let me just look at the top posts that people made about this, okay?
It's a good post, yeah.
Which ones?
Top post.
I remember raiding Molten Core back in Vanilla. We had a rogue named Gemma who was pretty much geared out and wanted nothing but Perdition's Blade. He didn't need anything else, would make every raid for the hopes of that dagger. When it finally dropped, the whole raid was excited. He went in with all of his DKP, which was far and away more than anyone else ever had. We went to Ironforge after the raid. I was Alliance at the time, and we dueled him just so we could see how much damage the new drop was doing. I haven't been that excited for my own drops as I have been for someone else's drop in Vanilla since Forging came about. Imagine if Gemma's dagger dropped and instead of everyone being excited, we see it's a base item level that didn't forge. Somehow they've managed to turn excitement into disappointment.
Holy shit. Holy shit, man. That's crazy.
True. Very, very true. That's the way that I felt too back in the day. It absolutely is. Like, I don't know, man. It's the way it goes. Let me read some of these other comments. I'm actually amazed that this video did so well. I didn't expect it to. I really didn't think it would. Let's see. For me, the GCD changes and bad class design has ruined it. It just doesn't feel enjoyable anymore. Is there anything that's more straightforward than that? I mean, that's real shit. That's real shit right there, boys. The GCD changes and bad class design has ruined it. It just doesn't feel enjoyable. Those are the words that I want to use. It doesn't feel awesome. Wait, no, I'm listening to this fucking song. Why do I have this on my fucking playlist? I'm gonna take it off my list right now. I hate it. It's annoying. How the fuck do I delete it? I can't. Who cares? I'll just go to another song anyway. Doesn't matter.
You know what I missed, dude?
What?
Back on WoD, Paladins had this talent. It was like, you could use your different seals, and every time you judge with a different seal, you got like a different effect. And it was so cool. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, that was
like, it sucked for PvE, but it was like actually fun.
Right.
Like, it was fun, and I missed that. Also, I miss Final Verdict, which made like your TVs ranged. Like,
that was kind of OP, man.
That was OP, but it was fun though.
It was fun, yeah. I mean, the GCD changes and everything. Again, like Blizzard, basically, they have as I said, they have a grand design of the game, and the things that don't fit into that grand design are removed, even if those things hurt the game. And that's what's happened with the GCD changes. WoW's Age is showing. Yeah, I mean, like Legion class and like Legion gameplay, I thought was substantially better than BFA. Like, let me ask you guys a question. Which one did you prefer? Legion classes or BFA classes? Like right now.
Classes.
Everybody's saying Legion, exactly. Ism donate. If you praise, you're a brown noser. If you hate on something, you're a cunt and a hater. There is no winning whenever you fight against the opinions of the world. State your views and plant your feet, and do not bend. Also, classic win. We need to watch your video, Nixium, because I actually saw that a little bit ago. Maybe we can actually look at his video in a minute here. Minute or two, yeah. Please read your donuts when you have time. Woke, I'll listen to it right now, okay?